talk writing inequalities. So writing inequalities is very similar to writing equations. The only difference is instead of an equal sign, you're going to have to determine the inequality sign. So just a reminder, your inequality signs are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So again, instead of a equal line, you're going to have that inequality symbol. Okay, so writing inequalities from descriptions, aka from words, is going to be really important on focusing on your keywords, just like it was with equations. Okay, so you want to identify your keywords, and your keywords are going to tell you which symbol is going to be. You're also going to identify your operation. Is it add, subtract, multiply, divide? Okay, and then you're going to define your variable. Your variable is your letter, and then after you've done all that, then you can write your inequality, okay? So again, the keywords are going to tell you things like which inequality symbol to use, and again, those are going to be your keywords that are listed kind of up in this section and over here, okay? All right, and then your operations, again, your operations are just going to be your add, your subtract, your multiply, or your divide. And again, you're looking for those key vocabulary words. And then again, your variable is just your letter. So when it says define your variable, is it an R? Is it an X? Is it a P? You know, what letter are you using for that situation? Okay. So let's try a few. So it says, try a few. So the sum of a number and 3 is no more than 8. So keyword here is going to be that sum, and we know sum means to add. So I know whatever's happening in this problem, I'm looking for addition. Okay, and so it says a number. Well, a number could be any letter, so I'm going to just use the word in for number. And then it says and 3, so we need 3 is just the number 3. All right, and then it says is no more than 8. So I know what's happening is I'm taking a number, I'm adding 3, and I know that it's not more than 8. So when it says no more than, okay, no more than, one of our key things for problems that have equality lines, so these symbols with the equality line, you're going to look for words like at or no, maximum, and minimum. I'm not saying that's a full list, but I'm saying that if you see those words at or no, max or min, those are definitely going to be your words that tell you you need the equality line underneath, okay? So you need this equality line here underneath your symbols if you see any of these words, at or no, max or min. So in this case, I had a no, so immediately I know my symbol is going to have that equality line with it. Okay, so I need to think of an example to help me. Okay, so I know that I'm going to have my equality line, but I need to figure out which way is my symbol going to face. So I just need to think of an example of a number that's actually not more than 8. Okay, so a number that's not more than 8, I'm going to use the example 2. So I'm going to come over to the side, and I'm going to say, okay, if this side's 8 and my example's 2, who's going to get eaten? Okay, well, the 8 is larger, so larger means it gets eaten by our inequality alligator, Pac-Man, however you learned it. Okay, so that means my symbol needs to be eating the 8 in my answer. So again, when in doubt on which way to face your symbol, just use a little example off to the side. Okay, all right, let's try the next one. The next one says the difference. Okay, so keyword there is difference. Difference is a great vocabulary word for subtraction. And again, this time it says a number and 4. Well, 4 is just 4. And then a number, I'm not going to use in again. I'm going to use a different number. Let's use T for Turner. Okay, so I'm going to say the difference of a number, I'm going to name it T, and 4. And this time it says is at least 10. Okay, at least 10. So I can see ding, 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 at in my problem. So I know immediately I'm going to have that equality line with my symbol, but I need to figure out which way it's facing. So let's go right at our beginning. We had a number and then difference and 4. And I know that it's 10 on the end here. And so I know the equality line is there because of the word at. Again, at is important. Here it was no that was important. And so let's use at least 10 in a different situation. Let's say your mom says, oh, you can't go ride that ride at the amusement park until you're at least 10. So let's use an example. 10's on the right because that's our answer here. And then what's an age you could be to ride the roller coaster? Well, let's say I could be 15. So who's going to get eaten? The 15 is greater. Oops. I don't know what I just did. Sorry, guys. The 15 is greater, so it's going to get eaten. So my symbol will look like that, okay? All right, so my symbol needs to face away from the 10, again, because it says at least 10. So if you have to be at least 10, my example would be 15. So again, how did I determine that symbol? I just used this example over here on the right and on the left, okay? All right, let's keep going. This time it says the maximum number of students who can fit on one bus is 45. So I'm going to come grab a new color here. So we have maximum is our beautiful keyword. And you'll notice, again, maximum is on our equality list. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to have an equality line with it. And it says who can fit on a bus is 45. So I'm going to say my letter, I'll use S for students. So the students on a bus, okay, and the maximum is 45. So again, I know it could equal 45. I could put exactly 45 students on that bus, but let's go ahead and do my example over here on this side. So what's a number that would be able to go on the bus? Could I just put 10 students on the bus? Yes. So I'm going to use 10 as an example. Which one's going to get eaten? The 45 is larger, so my symbol will face my 45. And so the maximum number of students who can fit on one bus is 45, okay? All right, my last example here, it says she wants to sell more than 10 boxes of cookies. More than 10 boxes of cookies. So again, more than is our inequality word there. And I'm going to use C for cookies. So I have C and I have 10. All right, and I don't see any of my equality words like at or no, max or min. And so this is not going to have an equality line. So I need to think of a number that would satisfy more than 10. Okay, so what's a number that would satisfy more than 10? I'll put 10 on the right. And then my example is always going to go on the left. So what's a number more than 10? Let's use 20. Okay. All right, who's going to get eaten? The 20 is larger. So I'm going to face the 20 with my inequality symbol. So more than is going to be like this. All right. So again, when in doubt, the biggest thing is using that example off to the side that fits the situation. Okay. And last but not least, just a reminder, remember you're using your symbols when graphing. Sometimes you might need to look at those when writing as well. So remember the easiest thing to do is when you are looking at these, you can just trace the arrow and that tells you your symbol. So I have my symbol looking like this, and then I have my colored in dot, which is going to be the equality line. Same thing on this one. I'm going to trace my arrow. So my symbol looks like this. I have my colored in dot, so I'm going to have my equality line underneath. On the bottom too, I have my symbol looks like that to match my arrow, but I do not color it in because it is an open circle. And then here I'm tracing my arrow, so my symbol looks like this. And again, I have that open circle, so I have no line underneath. And that's your writing inequalities notes, guys. Go practice.